had to meditate for like 30 minutes before I wrote this verse to get my mind clear. Lately I've been trying to figure out what this government is trying to pioneer. Whole country been stressing out about everything that happened up in Charlottesville. Got me looking at some white people like...
Yo, it's TheGIBBYNATR. In this video I'm going to be telling you the top 5 perks in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 to make you a better player. These should be the default perks that you use whenever you're creating a class, and they should really help you to get more nuclear medals and just improve your KD and your general playstyle. A lot of people won't be expecting this, but coming in at the number 1 spot, I'm going with Gung-ho. Now listen to me before you click off the video. Gung-ho is an absolutely amazing perk in this game. In the past Call of Duties, it hasn't been the greatest perk. All it's enabled you to do is shoot while sprinting, which is good with SMGs, but with assault rifles it's kind of crappy, and like snipers it's pretty useless perk. But in Black Ops 4 they've changed it up a little bit. What they've actually done is they've made it so when you're using Gung-ho, your sprint out time is reduced. What that means is that after sprinting you can shoot faster. So if you're caught off guard and you're sprinting, and someone else is caught off guard on the enemy team sprinting, and you're sprinting at each other, you will be able to shoot before them if you're using Gung-ho. So obviously that's going to give you a massive advantage over them. It's basically giving you the kill. As long as you're relying on your accuracy and you can actually hit your shots, you're always going to kill that person. So it is an absolutely godly perk to use, and you should be using it on all of your class setups, and it's just a little added bonus that you can shoot while sprinting as well. So it makes a great perk for SMGs and assault rifles now, and pretty much every single gun in the game, just because you can shoot faster after sprinting. Because no matter how good of a player you are, you're always going to get caught off guard sprinting sometimes. So when you do, it's better off that you have an insurance that you can shoot faster by using Gung-ho. Right, so moving on to the second best perk in the game, I'm going with Ghost. Now Ghost is an absolutely amazing perk, and it always has been in all the other Call of Duties. This year it is very good. Back in Black Ops 2 it only worked when you were sprinting. It would keep you off the mini map and hide you from enemy UAVs when you're sprinting. But in this game it's when you're moving, so you can literally be moving at a snail's pace and you won't show up on the enemy's UAV. And also another great feature of Ghost in this game is when you're controlling score streaks like the lightning strike, like the hailstorm, you won't be showing up on the enemy's UAVs. That is so good. That means that when you're using those score streaks, people won't be able to come and just find your body that's just standing there doing nothing, that's absolutely helpless. So that is absolutely great. If you're going for like really high kill streaks and you want to use like the chopper gunner streak, I can't remember what it's called right now, you can use that, put on Ghost, and the enemies will never find you as long as you're in a sick camping spot. As well as that, this perk actually reduces the time you're revealed on enemy sensor darts and vision pulse, which is really good because vision pulse and the sensor darts are literally the most overpowered specialist abilities and equipment in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So to be able to counter that just a little bit is so helpful, because what they do is they literally show you to all of the enemies on the other team. So those abilities literally just like bait you out to the other team. So if you can just negate that a little bit, it makes this perk worth it. So yeah, definitely use Ghost on your class setups. Coming out of the number 3 spot, we've got another perk that you might not have expected. We've got Team Link. Now this is the first Call of Duty that Team Link is actually appearing in, and it is a really good perk. What Team Link actually allows you to do is see your teammates through walls. So that's going to allow you to see where your teammates are dying. So if you've got a teammate right next to you in another room and he dies, you know that there's enemies there, and they hopefully won't kill you if you know they're there. So that's really helpful if you're on like a nuclear streak and you're trying not to die as hard as possible. That's really going to aid you and help you out. And then the next thing that it does is it actually increases the radius of yours and your teammates' fog of war radiuses. So that is really helpful. If you don't know what the fog of war is, it's literally if you look at the minimap and you look at your player's icon, you've got this like little circle around your player's icon, and that is the fog of war. It kind of like lights up the part of the map that you're looking at and stuff like that. You'll definitely know what it is. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see what it is, and you'll probably recognize it. And what it actually does is it shows the enemies up when they get into that. Obviously like the base fog of war isn't that big, so you only notice people when they're literally right in front of you. It's helpful if you're like in a very small building that has lots of rooms. You can tell if there's people in other rooms or if there's people coming into the room that you're hiding in or something. But when you use Team Link, it's increased by quite a bit. So that's really helpful. It's going to allow you to, it basically turns it into a bit of like Sixth Sense from Black Ops 3, and it is so goddamn helpful. It's going to help you a lot on nuclear streaks when it's intense, all of the enemies are coming after you, and you'll be able to use that fog of war to just look and locate the enemies. And a lot of people don't know how to use the fog of war very well, so I will be doing a separate video on that, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and be on the lookout for that. Coming in at the number 4 spot is a perk that I use on all my class setups. This is Cold-Blooded. Now what Cold-Blooded does is it actually makes you invisible to Nomad's dog and also to his equipment, which is the mesh mine. Both of those things are extremely annoying to die to, especially when you're on a nuclear streak, and they're very overpowered. So if you're not using this perk, I can guarantee you that at least once a game you're probably going to die to a dog or a mesh mine. A lot of people abuse this specialist because it is a really good one. You can get a lot of kills with it, but it's so annoying to play against because you can barely even see the mesh mine because you can literally just shoot it into the most ridiculous places, meaning that the average player, like, and when you're just chilling, you're running around, you're not going to notice this laser beam across the ceiling or at your ankles. You're just chilling and you're just playing, you're not going to notice that, and that literally kills you instantly. You can't like drop shot to avoid it or anything like you could with bouncing Bettys in the past and stuff like that. So that's really annoying. And then the dog literally just sponges loads of bullets. Pretty much impossible to kill most of the time without Cold-Blooded, and it literally, like, it's a really buggy specialist ability because I've seen it sometimes where it's literally just flying around the map and the hitbox on it's really small, so it's really difficult to hit. It's just a horrible specialist to deal with, so I'd recommend using Cold-Blooded so you don't die to the dog. But saying that, if you are using Cold-Blooded and you shoot the dog will see you and it will come for you. So if you are going to kill the dog, make sure you're far enough away from it, or make sure you've got good accuracy. Another really good positive about Cold-Blooded is that it actually makes you invisible to lethal score streaks like your choppers and like hailstorms and stuff like that, so the enemies won't be able to see you in them. Obviously with hailstorms and stuff they can still kill you, but the AI controlled streaks, they literally won't kill you, which is helpful if you're on a team with really bad players, and it means that the enemies get streaks and you're on like a nuclear streak, it means you won't die to those score streaks, which is always handy. Moving on to the final perk, we've got the Scavenger. Now this was a really difficult one to choose because there's a lot of good perks that you could use instead of Scavenger, but I think Scavenger just topped them. I will mention those other perks at the end of the video so you can give them a try out if you've tried all of these and you don't really like them that much. But what Scavenger allows you to do is replenish your ammo from dead bodies, so your teammates or enemies, which is really helpful because the last thing you want to do when you're on a nuclear streak is pick up someone's class setup where they're using dodgy attachments and it's just a horrible gun that you're not used to, and it completely ruins your flow and it can make you do some really stupid plays. Like, if I've had it plenty of times where I'm on like a 20 kill streak and then my gun runs out of ammo, I've got like 5 bullets left in the mag, and then I have to try and kill someone, find a gun, pick it up, and it is just so stressful. It's much easier just to use Scavenger and keep your bullets at a high level all the time, and it will just reduce your stress a lot, trust me. And especially like when you pick up that gun and it's got like ACOG scope with rapid fire and high caliber on it, and you're like, what is this class setup? This dude's stupid, and you're having to use that to get your nuke. You want to avoid that as much as possible. But yeah, that is my number 5 spot. Let me know what your top 5 perks are down below in the comments. The perks that I would recommend you use if you don't like these are Dead Silence, Tac Mask, Flak Jacket and Lightweight. They're all really good perks that will help you out, but in my opinion they're not as good as the ones I mentioned in the top 5. Those perks that I've just mentioned there in that short little list, those ones are going to keep you alive on nuke streaks, but I would say they're more for like competitive players, especially like your Dead Silence, because the footsteps are already quiet, so that's if you're playing against dudes with like a full 5-man of Astro A40 headsets and stuff. And then like Tac Mask and Flak Jacket, you only really get people using grenades and concussions in like competitive style gamers like S&D and stuff. You don't really get that in your TDMs and dominations, so I wouldn't bother using them. You can always have a class out with those perks on if someone does whip out some grenades and concussions and it's annoying you, so you can just switch to that class and then counteract how they're playing. Lightweight's also just like a fun one to use with shotguns and SMGs. You can pair it up with Gung-ho and you can literally be unkillable. You run around so fast with Lightweight and it literally makes hit detection on you really retarded, so people won't be able to hit you, and you can just run around and have a good time, start rushing people. But yeah, that is it for the video, lads. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next vid, lads. Peace.